This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
swimming, basketball,
netball
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
It's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Real guys, real sport, Bar TV.
Hello and welcome to Jack McLaughlin Oval today for Bar TV's live coverage. And today we'll have a big battle between first and third and two of the competition's best. For Edgeworth, the home side today, they're in third place and are riding high. 7 wins in their last 8 games and also have a battle upcoming with Melbourne City in the FFA Cup in August. Hamilton, on the other hand, haven't lost a match this season and look to be getting stronger as the season continues. So this is going to be a great contest live right here on Bar TV today. I'll just run through the team sheets. I'll go through the Edgeworth side and then Blake will take you through Hamilton. So in goals for Edgeworth today is number 23, Ben Smith. Number 2, Bray Smith. Number 4, Aidan Bryce. Number 6, Luke Walker. Number 7, Bren Hamill. Number 8, Josh Evans. Number 9, Brodie Taylor. Number 10, Keanu Moore. Number 15, Pat Wheeler. Number 17, Dom Bazzari. And number 18, Lockie Pasquale. On the bench for Edgeworth is number 3, Aaron McLaughlin, who scored the winner last week. Number 11, Dylan Hulse. Number 12, Brenton Olzoma. And number 25, Jake Fairhall. And there's just the 4 on the bench there. So, Blake, if you want to go through the Hamilton side as the players come out onto the ground.
For Hamilton today, Ben, number 1 in goals, Danny Ireland. Number 3 is Tom Davies. 4, Cole Hodges, who's their captain. Number 6, Kane Goodchild. Number 7, Simon Mooney. Number 8, Jacob Bailey. Number 10, Reece Cooper. Number 12, Matt Swan. Number 13, Mason Campbell, who's actually their captain, not Cole Hodges, sorry. Number 17 is Pat Brown. And number 19 is Jason Korotich. On the bench for Hamilton is number 14, Ben Coyner. Number 15, Cody Lucas. Number 18, Alex Serapis. And number 20, Matt Harper. And their reserve goalkeeper is number 41, Daniel Eisenhower.
So there are the two sides for today. We just shaking hands before we get underway today. These two sides have met have met 6 times in the last couple of years. Edgeworth with just the 1 win, Hamilton 3 wins and 2 draws. Last season, Hamilton won 2-0 at home, won 2-0 at home. 2014, it was a 2-0 win at home. And in 2013, a 4-1 win at home for Hamilton. The 2 draws, 1-1 in last year at Jack McLaughlin and 1-1 in 2012 at Darling Street. And for Edgeworth's sole win in the last few years against Hamilton came in 2013, and that was a 3-2 win at home. So set up for an exciting contest. Hamilton in first place, 25 points, and Edgeworth third place on 24. Blake, we were talking just before the game off air about how Hamilton are undefeated, but if Edgeworth win today, they'll go ahead of them. And we're talking about how important the wins were in comparison with the draws.
We were, weren't we? I think we have here Hamilton have won 4 of their last 6 and had 2 draws, whereas Edgeworth have won 5 of their last 6 and had a loss. So even though Edgeworth had a loss, they're still in better form, you would say, in the last 6 games. And if Edgeworth win today, they leapfrog the Jaffers and Hamilton, and they'll finish around 12 in the number 1 position.
Of course, Ben Smith today in goals for Edgeworth, because that injury last week to Jim Fogarty, he'll be racing the clock to be fit for the final series, which consists of the 4 matches and then the grand final, the first and second legs of the semi-finals, which will be interesting to see this year. There is only the 4 people on the bench in the team sheet for Edgeworth. I think is that right, Blake? There's only, I can't see a fifth name there.
Oh, yeah, there's only 4 there.
So we'll have to. Well, they didn't. The only person they've ruled out as not playing was Jim Fogarty. So Justin Tannock and Aaron Pritchard could be up. Liam Spurway as well, who's played off the bench a little bit in the NPL this season. So still just waiting to get underway here at Jack McLaughlin Oval. A later kickoff today, 2:45. Reese Cooper and Kane Goodchild get us underway. Played back and looking over onto this side for Simon Mooney. And it'll run back down over the byline, and it's going to be an early goal kick to Ben Smith. Was Edgeworth's first choice keeper for a few years before he left. Before last season, 2014, Jim Fogarty took the reins and came back this year after Damien Zane offered him the job. He desperately needed a reserve keeper. He spoke last week in the post-match interview about how he was really lost for lost for a reserve keeper to fill in. It's over on that left-hand side now for Hamilton. Long shot there going again over the byline. Ben Smith with another goal kick.
Interesting change in Edgeworth's formation. They seem to have Aiden Bryce, the number 4, up front, and Dylan Holes and Brendan Olsamo both starting from the bench.
Yeah, interesting to say Olsamo starting from the bench. He started from the bench last week, I believe, from memory. Was that right? I'm trying to remember. I'll have to check that at halftime. But he did start at the bench. Here's Reese Cooper going through into the 18 now. Still with Cooper, but it's well cleared away in the end. Maybe not as well as I thought, and the shot there from Pat Brown going over. So Hamilton doing a lot of the attacking early on.
Yeah, as you said earlier, Ben, the last time these two sides met was back in round 2 with Hamilton winning 2-0 at home. Simon Mooney and Jason Korotich were the 2 scorers in that game. Jason Korotich was rumoured to be ruled out for this one with a knee injury, but he's overcome that and he's taken the field for Hamilton starting today.
He's just scored that 1 goal, the only goal for him this season, Jason Korotich. And it's going to be a throw on that far side now for Edgeworth. In terms of goals scored for both these sides, Hamilton Olympic 2.3 on average per game, Edgeworth 1.8, and conceding goals this season. Hamilton have conceded on average 1.1 and Edgeworth 1.2. So Hamilton shading Edgeworth in both areas. Most notably in the attacking areas. Brodie Taylor tries a ball into the middle in the end. Didn't find Aiden Bryce. Pasquale standing over the ball. So here's Pasquale's free kick back into the side today after he was on the bench last week, Lockie Pasquale. He didn't play any part in the match over Broadmeadow. That 2-1 win, Aaron McLaughlin scoring in stoppage time. Danny Island looking long and over halfway. Kane Goodchild trying to get under it. Now Swan going back. That's Matt Swan playing it all the way back now to Danny Island. Up over halfway. It's now with Pat Brown. Referee, I think, calling a handball there against Pat Brown. And Edgeworth with the free kick. Yeah, you were speaking about Daniel Eisenhower, of course, the Hamilton reserve goalkeeper Josh Cox. I'm surprised he's not on the bench, as you were saying at the start of the game, Blake.
Yeah, he's got a across there next to his name as a substitute, but it's been whited out, so I'm not sure if I didn't see the last game, but if he's picked up an injury in the last game or if he just hasn't made it today, I'm not too sure. But yeah, Daniel Eisenhower, the under-19s keeper, will be sitting by on the bench today for Hamilton.
You're just on that far side. There's some space over there for Bren Hamill now. Down that right-hand side for Edgeworth. Trying to get around. Oh, he's gone flying to the fence there, Kyle Hodges. He looks all right, which is good. But Bren Hamill tried to get around him. In the end, couldn't do so, and it'll be a goal kick for Danny Island. Very quiet here at Edgeworth today. The last game we were here against Lambton, it was a very good atmosphere, but today the crowd probably not as big. Stands not as well packed. Maybe they're all back home watching on Bar TV as it's played back now. Pat Wheeler going all the way back to Smith. Bit of a shanked clearance there. Brown now towards Goodchild. Now Reese Cooper with some space, but it's going to beat him over the byline. And it'll be a goal kick again for Ben Smith. Over now towards Hamill. Luke Walker trying to flick it on. And again, back down Edgeworth's end there. Pat Wheeler after, but it'll run down and over the sideline.
It's been a very slow start, hasn't it, in the first 7 minutes of the game. So just while there's a bit of a delay in the play with the throwing down there, we'll just bring to you the scores from other round 12 games in the competition. Yesterday, South Cardiff went down to the Jets Youth 2-1 at home. The goal scorers were Cal DeGotti in the 20th minute and Braden Corelli in the 26th for the Jets. And then Sean Clerk got one back for the Gunners in the 28th minute, but just wasn't enough as we see that ball go over the back line for a goal kick. And in the other game, Lambton beat Western 4-3. Western went into the halftime break with a 3-0 lead, thanks to Gary McDermott, Wilson Edwards and a Nathan Morris penalty. Then in the second half, Joe Wheelhouse scored a double. In between his double, Luke Remington scored, and John Madrowski scored with 2 minutes to go to win the game for the Jaffers at home, which put them into second, meaning Edgeworth slip into third. But obviously, a draw or a win today will put them back up into second or first.
Battle there for Brodie Taylor with Tom Davies. Still going down that near sideline, looking out for Aiden Bryce. He's after Aiden Bryce. Can he get on the end of it? We'll put over the sideline in the end at the back there by Hodges. Aiden Bryce playing up the front today, it seems, for Edgeworth. Interesting move from Damien Zane.
Yeah, I'll have to find out what was the idea behind that move. I'll find that out during the week and let everyone know next week or in the match review of this game. But I'm not too sure. Just another thing that you mentioned before was it's not very loud. It's a bit quiet here today, but there is a big crowd. If you look down just to the left there, there's a lot of people here.
Cleared away there by Hamilton. There's a lot more people actually behind the goals than are in the grandstand. The grandstand is very much empty down below for Edgeworth. The last game we were here was for the A-League Grand Final, so they brought the kickoff time forward. Now with Mooney. Probably say maybe a bigger crowd today, but definitely not as vocal as that game, as Tom Davies now. I'm sure there'll be a big crowd when Edgeworth play Melbourne City on the 4th of August this season. Later on down the track as the ball goes back post. Can Pat Brown get on the end of it? The shot goes over. He just couldn't quite get down on it there, Pat Brown. He's been mainly coming off the bench for Hamilton this year as Pat Brown and into the starting lineup today.
Yeah, Andrew Swan's missed this game through a hamstring injury, so I can't remember exactly whether it's Andrew that plays left back and Matt further up the field, and Matt's just gone to left back today, but one of the Swans would usually be playing up there in that left wing position that Pat Brown's occupying this afternoon.
Well, Andrew Swan scored a few weeks ago in the match against Hamilton and in the match against Magic in round 10 that we had. Scored the second goal for Hamilton as here goes Pat Brown into Kane Goodchild. It's a stat that is just is quite incredible. The last 2 seasons when Kane Goodchild has scored, the team that he's played for has not lost, both Charlestown and Hamilton. So he's got a great record in that department as Kane Goodchild. Trying to find a ball over the top. In the end, it balloons straight to Ben Smith. But yeah, as you said, Blake, a really slow start. We've gone about 11 minutes in this one. And the intensity not that high in this one, considering it's a top-of-the-table clash. It's a bit of a surprise. As ricochets away, I think it's come off one of the Edgeworth players, so a throw over there for Matt Swan now for Hamilton. Back to Swan, going up the ground towards Goodchild. He holds it up. Chest didn't get as much control as he would have liked, and it's going to be another throw for Edgeworth on that far side of the ground.
As usual, we'll bring you scores from other grounds. In round 12, we've got Adamstown at home to Charlestown today, and Magic at home to to Maitland. And Charlestown have gone ahead at Adamstown Oval. Scott Smith scored in the 12th minute to go 1-0 over the Rosebud.
They've had a good record over the Rosebuds in the NPL this year. They won 4-2 back earlier in the season, and they didn't beat them in the FFA Cup. So NPL competitions, they've done well, and now they're up 1-0 again, as you said, Blake. So it'll be interesting to see if Charlestown can get an upset victory over the Rosebuds. Hamilton's trying to head it away now. Still with Pat Brown. Falls over on top of the ball. Bouncing away. Still on top of the ball, Pat Brown. Still going Pat Brown. It's like a rugby ruck and maulers. Now the shot in the end from Mason Campbell. And now Edgeworth away down this near side. The intensity just lifting a little bit as Brodie Taylor now. It's like an ice skating rink down in front of us. And now for Keanu Moore, man of the match last week. The Das Hundhaus man of the match against Broadmeadow. Now for Goodchild. Plays it wide for Mooney. He's got some space, but Bazari's coming at him. Still with Mooney. Bazari does really well. Doesn't commit the foul. Mooney comes at him. Very hard, Simon Mooney there. And the free kick goes the way of the home side, Edgeworth. The intensity just lifting here, Blake, at the moment.
They must have heard us because 2 minutes since you brought that point up again, it's come to life, hasn't it, the game? It's only been 1 or 2 attacks, but Brodie Taylor down here in front of us with that little nutmeg and through ball to Keanu Moore, and then that little interchange of play there that almost saw Hamilton away for a goal-scoring chance. So let's hope we see more of that in the next 15 to 20 minutes.
Campbell going up, but he's turned it over now. Brent Hamill on the ball. Still with Hamill down the left-hand side. Tries to put it in, well blocked by Davies, and it's going to be a corner kick now for Edgeworth. Here's the corner in. Danny Island rises. Looked like he had glue on his gloves there, Danny Island. Straight in and didn't pop out at all. And does well. He's one of the best goalies in the competition, if not the best. Would you say he shades the likes of Brad Swancott? And Brad Swancott, of course, coming through the grades with Ben Smith. What do you think? Do you think Danny Island's the premier keeper in the competition?
Yeah, I definitely do. He's proved in the last few seasons that he is, in my opinion. I'm sure others view differently, but there is a lot of good keepers in the competition this year. We've got Nathan Archibald at Magic.
Brent Hamill on the left now for Edgeworth. He's going to try and find a ball back in the middle. Danny Island's there again. On cue. He does well.
Yeah, and there's Brad Swadcott at Lantern, as you suggested. So it's a very good year for the NPL. We've got some good signings with the likes of Matt Thompson at Mayland, but also in goals. There's a lot of star players.
Well, Matt Thompson's been warming up his engines the last few weeks. He scored a couple of goals, a couple of crucial ones too. As here's Pasquale. Plays it down the left-hand side. Brent Hamill's after it. Can he stop it before it goes over the byline? He does so. Taking on Davies now, Hamill. Still with Hamill, still into the 18. Tries to pull the trigger, but Reese Cooper got across and snuffed out the opportunity. The ball played up the line, and in the end, a bit of a waste for Hamilton, and Pat Wheeler does well at the back. Been on the bench for most of the first part of the season, Pat Wheeler, while Aiden Bryce was at the back. But Aiden Bryce now up the front for Edgeworth today. Nice little tap on from Hamill to Brody Taylor. Hits the shot off the bar. And now the follow-up's been saved by Island's been put in by Bryce. Well, they had 3 bites at the cherry there, Edgeworth. And the third one's been put in. Entertaining stuff here at Jack McLaughlin in the last 30 seconds. It's been a bit boring the first 15. But the temperature's been turned up now on the undefeated Hamilton Olympic, Blake.
Yeah, just that goal comes in the 15th minute to Edgeworth, taking a 1-0 lead at their home ground, which is very positive for them. A very bizarre goal, wasn't it? Did it come off the post, the first one, then the post, the other post?
I don't know if I thought Danny Island saved the second one, but I wouldn't be surprised if it hit the post as well. So that's the only way you beat Danny Island. You hit the post and get the rebound and put it in.
Yeah, very bizarre goal, but it's a goal nonetheless. And Edgeworth have gone ahead 1-0 as we see Kane Goodschild here steam into the box. Little nutmeg on Lockie Pasquale, but the ball just rolls out for a goal kick for Ben Smith.
Well, that sets this one up as an entertaining few moments now until we'll see if Hamilton can get back in this one. Smith now goes to Josh Evans, who's playing at left back today, or left centre back on the left. Was Keanu Moore now? Pasquale wins the ball back. Mooney plays it a Goodchild. Goodchild can't control as well as he'd like to there. Luke Walker came at him. Simon Mooney scored 6 goals for Hamilton this year. Plays in Matt Swan. Still with Swan. Taking it down to the corner, and he wins Hamilton a corner. Here's the ball in from Mooney, goes near post. Didn't get enough to really make it a tough one for the Edgeworth defence. Still with Mooney. Rounds Taylor. And now it's back for Ben Smith. Hamilton with the best defence in the competition. 12 goals conceded this year, but not anymore because Edgeworth have levelled it all up. They've conceded 13 this year, and now Hamilton as well. So both sides equal in the best defensive records in the competition now. Tom Davies now with the throw. Goes up the line. Goodchild gets his foot in. Ricochets off an Edgeworth player. This is the assistant referee, and it's going to be another throw down there for Davies. Goes into Reese Cooper. Looks over the top of that straight to Ben Smith. Releases for Edgeworth now, and Josh Evans on the ball. Has to go over the top. It's a well-weighted ball in the end. Just sat up nicely. Didn't put too much power on it. Aiden Bryce there. Goes into Brody Taylor. Some space in the 18 again. And Danny Ireland does well, but it was Brody Taylor's shot that hit the post that created the chance. Keanu Moore had the shot. It hit the post, or Ireland made the save, and then Aiden Bryce scores his first goal for the season. And, well, Damien Zane's decision paid off, putting him up the front there. Albeit that I think most players would have put that one in, Blake, with an open net about 2 metres out from goal. Pat Wheeler now. Now with Aiden Bryce. Over across to Brent Hamill now. Had a lot of space in this opening part of the first half. Still with Brent Hamill. Decides not to hit the shot, but Mason Campbell gets the foot in. Cooper doesn't get on the end of it, but the free kick goes his way. So there's other matches this afternoon. Charlestown and Adamstown. Charlestown leading 1-0 at the moment. And Maitland and Broadmeadow Magic. That's at Magic Park. Broadmeadow looking to get their season back on track today. Wheeler looking up the ground for Bryce. Hodges gets his head in the way. And now Bryce and Hodges. Can Bryce cut it back? He does really well. Aiden Bryce tries to square it up. Mason Campbell was there. And Simon Mooney now over on that far side. Just down in front of us, Blake. The pitch very wet and very much like an ice skating rink. The amount of mud out there. There's not much traction in front of us. On the far side, a little bit more sun, but this grandstand, I think, just blocking a lot of the sunlight that can help to dry out the ground.
Yeah, not wrong. It does look very slippery, doesn't it? But the players seem to have been dealing with it okay so far. It's been 21 minutes played, so let's hope it stays that way. And there's been 2 games on before, as there always is, and it doesn't look too chopped up after those, so it's good signs for Edgeworth.
Smith now. Now with Tom Davies. Brown, and he wins the free kick. Little clip there from Bazzari. Played his football in Italy last year. Davies now over the top. Ben Smith dives on the ball. He does well in the end. Looked like it was just about to slip under him, but he clamped down on it. Now over on that far side for Edgeworth now with Bray Smith. Down the line for Hamill. Over the sideline by Kyle Hodges. Going to play it all quickly, Aiden Bryce, but there's going to be another free kick going to Hamilton. We'll push in the back there. Danny Ireland's going to take it just outside his 18-yard box. Karotic trying to find Mooney. Couldn't do so. Wheeler. Kyle Hodges intercepts with the head. Now for Smith. Wheeler now to Pasquale. And now Simon Mooney intercepts for Hamilton. They've got numbers in the attacking area. Kane Goodchild got his foot in, and he's going to win his side of corner, deflecting off Pat Wheeler and over the byline. So a chance now for Hamilton to put some pressure on the Edgeworth goal. Just their second corner of the afternoon. Any scores from the other grounds yet, Blake?
No, not at the moment. I've still got 0-0 at Magic Park between Magic and Maitland, and 1-0 to Charlestown.
Well, here it comes. Off an Edgeworth head. Now Hayden Bryce getting in and doing some work back in the box. Kyle Hodges now. Over to Swan. And now Pat Wheeler intercepts. So they got Kyle Hodges tries to get in front of Brody Taylor. And coming after him is Karotic. He's got in front of Brody Taylor. He pulls the trigger. And it has gone over the byline. Pasquale, is it? I'll have to do some. I'll have to put the phonetics on my sheet. Now we're over on that far side, so it's going to be a throw going the way of Edgeworth. Keanu Moore now over on that far side. Swan. Now for Wheeler. Luke Walker. Simon Mooney now. Up the middle of the park. And it's going to run down to Ben Smith. Evans now on the ball. Bazari. Now up to Keanu Moore. Scored a goal last week. Won a penalty and set up the other. Set up the winner for Aaron McLaughlin as it runs back now. Bazari. He's got plenty of time and space now. Goes up the line, but it's going to run down to Mason Campbell. Aiden Bryce putting some pressure on Mason Campbell. He stepped on the ball in the end, and the Hamilton defence was able to get around him. But Brent Hamill now on the ball. Still with Hamill. Davies gets his foot in and puts it over the sideline. Throw down there for Edgeworth. Another clearance there from Hamilton. Getting it out of danger now for Evans. Down the line. And over the sideline, another throw down there for Edgeworth. Bazari looking for Aiden Bryce is coming around. Taking out Tom Davies' leg, and free kick goes the way of Hamilton. Danny Ireland's going to come up and take this one. Josh Evans gets up now. Luke Walker came back for his first grade match of the season last week after he had that knee reconstruction. When he expected him to be out for the season, but come back, had some revolutionary surgery, and he's back for round 11, which was last week. It's Keanu Moore now after it. That trial match against Dapto Fury in the pre-season. Goes down the right edge of the 18. Now back for Brody Taylor, who finds Bren Hamill on that far side, playing on both sides. Now looking for Walker. Got his toe in. Back for Hamill, looking for Walker's head. Korotic just got his head in the way and got the clearance. And now it's for Hamill. Keanu Moore. Now for Korotic. Pat Wheeler now inside his own half. Pressure from Kane Goodchild. Deflects now over there towards Smith. He goes to Keanu Moore, giving a little bump, and Mason Campbell clears it up the ground. Kane Goodchild after it. Pat Wheeler keeping him at arm's length. And he's put it over his own goal line there, Pat Wheeler, and now it's going to be some pressure for Edgeworth again. Hamilton coming down to take the corner kick. 16 minutes to go in the first half. Here at Jack McLaughlin Oval. Back post, Pat Brown again, putting it way over, and another goal kick for Ben Smith. What have you made of the opening 30 of this one today, Blake?
Yeah, the goal was a bit of a frenzy, and there's been a few good attacks, but all in all, it's been a slow opening half an hour. I think both sides have really got a lot more in the tank. I think I say that every week, and then the game always seems to get better. So hopefully that's a trend that continues here today.
Ben Smith slipping over after that goal kick, showing how soft the surface is out here at Edgeworth. Trying to get one over the top now. Brent Hamill, get away from his man. Now Aiden Bryce. He's got some space in front of him. Still Aiden Bryce. Gets away from Kyle Hodges, his opposite number, and takes it down towards the byline. Puts in a nice ball. Tom Davies did well. Got down low and headed it clear.
I think the addition of Aiden Bryce into the front third as well has had a big impact for Edgeworth. They're always good up front. Judging, you can tell that by their position on the table and their recent scores. But he's very calm up there. And they're very composed. Him, Keanu Moore, and Brody Taylor.
Well, Hamilton really haven't. I'll say for both sides really haven't created many opportunities apart from that one chance which resulted in a goal. I think this afternoon they've both had a few corners. They haven't put them away, but you're on that far side of the ground now for Edgeworth. It's Bazzari on his left foot. See if he can curl one in. So here he comes, Bazzari. It's well placed. Luke Walker got up. Danny Ireland's after it, and must have come off one of the Hamilton players' heads going down towards the byline, but he kept it in nicely, Ireland. Brown now with Goodchild. Nice skill there from Goodchild, letting it go through his legs. Now looking infield for Reese Cooper. Bazzari. Keanu Moore now. Knocking on towards Bryce. Kyle Hodges did well. Evans now. And another free kick, this time going the way of Edgeworth. Just shading the free kicks, I think, Hamilton today. They've had a few, but now they're being evened up. Pat Wheeler now with a free kick for Edgeworth. Yeah, really, like, not many chances for both sides. Again, that free kick, the Hamilton defence did well to snuff it out, and I think if the matches we've seen Hamilton play are anything to go by, there's going to be limited opportunities for Edgeworth today to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, we saw that against Magic, didn't we? Especially when Magic got wide, putting crosses in. Olympic were very good at defending them, and we've already seen that here today. Daniel Allen's come out and collected a few, and Cole Hodges, especially in there, he's been very good.
Reese Cooper trying to clear it away. Luke Walker got his foot in, and now Mason Campbell looking for the sideline. Finds it in the end, and Edgeworth with an attacking throw. Hamill back to Bazzari. Another one over the sideline. This time off Jacob Bailey. Cleared away again by Hodges. Up towards Josh Evans now for Edgeworth. Bazzari. Back to Evans. Now towards Keanu Moore. Flicking it on. Nice back heel from Brody Taylor. Again over the sideline by Hamilton. Sitting back pretty deep today, Blake Hamilton. They're not really pushing up and trying to attack much, which is surprising considering they are down by a goal to nil.
Yeah, I assume that'd change in the second half, or maybe they're just trying to find their feet and build up through midfield.
Sits up for Brent Hamill now, and now it's the shot from Brodie Taylor's in, and Edgeworth go ahead by 2-0. Well, they've only really had 2 good chances, and they put them both away. And Edgeworth lead 2-0 with about 12 minutes to go now in the first half.
Yeah, we're just saying they've been a bit slow and patient building up and getting forward, but with that second goal, it's definitely going to have to change now. 2-0 to Edgeworth Eagles, and there's 11 minutes remaining in this half.
I think half Hamilton's problem is they're just sitting so deep and letting Edgeworth come at them that they're just gifting opportunities. You know, any little half chance, and Edgeworth have put it away today. So I think Hamilton are really going to have to show some attack if they're to get any points out of this one today. Pat Brown. Now it's Brodie Taylor again. Very much an opportunist goal. It just sat up. Brent Hamill back to Brodie Taylor, and it was put past Danny Ireland. Not much he could do. 1-on-1. And Bazari again on his left for the free kick. Bazari goes into Hayden Bryce. And free kick going against him for the challenge down there on Tom Davies. Wasn't impressed about it all. But, yeah, Blake Hamilton just seemed to... They really haven't created any chances whatsoever that were of any note that I can remember in the opening 35 minutes.
Pat Brown did have one. It was a volley on that left side of the 18-yard box. It went over by a few metres. I think that was really the only one. They've had a few corners, haven't they? And they've really made nothing of it. And a few counter-attacking breaks, but they really need to pull something out here before half-time.
Well, on the home table, when you split up to just the home matches, Hamilton are up the top of that one. They've had 4 wins and 2 draws at home, 14 points, along with Lambton as well. They haven't lost at home this year, the Lambton Jaffers. Edgeworth back in third. They've only had the 1 loss at home, and that was to Broadmeadow Magic 4-1 back in round 3, I believe it was. Yep, round 3, the 4-1 losses. Here it comes in. Ben Smith punches. Good punch there from Smith. Pasquale over the top. And after it going down, there was Brodie Taylor. Again, Pasquale looking over on this left side. Bryce looking for Brodie Taylor. Here he is, Taylor, but it's really been pulled out wide on the 18. He cuts it back towards Keanu Moore, but Kyle Hodges was there to deal with it and put it over the sideline. And again, Hamilton put themselves under a little bit of pressure. Knocking the balls over the sideline a lot down there. Defensive end, not looking up the ground. Simon Mooney now looking for Goodchild. Davies, pressure on Brodie Taylor. And the free kick goes the way of Hamilton.
Just update from around the ground. Still no score from the Magic and Maitland game, so we're just going to assume it's 0-0. It's half-time at Adamstown Oval between the Rosebud and the Blues, and Charlestown lead 1-0 thanks to Scott Smith's goal that was in the 12th minute. We've just been told that Magic are ahead 1-0 thanks to a Peter Haynes penalty.
So here's Edgeworth with some space down the right-hand side. Cut back on the volley was Keanu Moore. It would have been a very spectacular goal from the number 10, but just goes wide. And another goal kick for Danny Ireland. Was contracted to Lambton last year, Danny Ireland, but got a job down in Sydney and was moving down there. And in the end, it fell through, so he was back up here. And because Lambton had already signed Brad Swancott from Hamilton, they did a bit of a switch, and Hamilton decided they'd sign Danny Ireland. It's Tom Davies and Brodie Taylor on that side. And it's been put over the sideline by Tom Davies. Now with Keanu Moore into the 18. Still with Keanu Moore, still going. Danny Ireland, great save. Well, jeepers. Got right through the heart of the Hamilton defence there, Keanu Moore. Back for Wheeler. Good child putting the pressure on him. Evans. Up towards Taylor. No free kick from the referee now. Good child again. Wheeler. Jacob Bailey getting in there. Pasquale now goes to Brody Taylor. He's got space on this near side. Bazari going down the left. Still with Bazari. Goes down the byline, cuts it back. Luke Walker. Sides against, hitting the volley. Still with Brody Taylor. Chips it across to Keanu Moore. Hits it on his left. And it will be rather, he didn't decide to do that. And it slices away and over the byline. So here on Bar TV, 39 minutes gone. In the first half, it's Edgeworth leading Hamilton Olympic by 2-0. Edgeworth, one thing I've noticed, Blake, attacking Hamilton down the flanks, and the only option for Hamilton is to put it over the sideline, which is, once again, just putting them under more pressure.
Yeah, Edgeworth have done a really good job today. We've alluded to the fact a few times in this half that Hamilton came into the round with the best defensive record, and Edgeworth have really picked them apart.
Well, here's Aiden Bryce now, still going Aiden Bryce. No one coming over to him, and I thought that was a deflection off Kyle Hodges. In the end, the referee says that it's a goal kick for Danny Ireland. But Damien Zane's spoken to us in post-match interviews about how he's been watching all the Bar TV action to do some research on Edgeworth's opponents. So I'm sure he watched the match between Broadmeadow and Hamilton, the last one that we had to do some research for today's game. And he's done very well so far because his side's ahead by 2-0. Bray Smith with the throw now for Edgeworth. Up the line, Aiden Bryce trying to flick it infield. Campbell. And now Simon Mooney down in the corner, but it'll go over the sideline.
Yeah, just there you said that he would have done some research on Hamilton for this game, but also they beat Broadmeadow last week, didn't they? So that was 2-1 here.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the 2-1 win over Broadmeadow Magic. And Broadmeadow were in a few Bar TV matches as well. They played against Western, so I'm sure he must have had a look at that one as well. So there's plenty of options for coaches having a look at some of the sides they've got to play in the competition. The only side that they have lost to in the last few weeks was up at Western, that game we had where they lost 1-0. The other times they played Hamilton and Magic, they lost to them earlier in the season. A 2-0 loss to Hamilton, 4-1 to Magic. So 3 losses against a few of the top sides in the competition. Damien Zane was very worried about that. He didn't want them to be classified as a bully team that just beat all the teams lower than them. He wanted them to challenge against some of the top sides in the comp as well. Here's Reece Cooper now, chipping a ball over the top. Ben Smith will come out and take it easily. And I'm sure he's going to be, if he hasn't already, get a Foxtel subscription and watch some of the match replays from the A-League this year so he can check out how Melbourne City like to play. Bailey now looking for Cooper. Reece Cooper, he's got Kane Goodchild. But Kane Goodchild, well, the ball went over the opposite side of the ground to where he was. No Hamilton players there. And it was easy, no pressure at all for Ben Smith. And Bazari goes up the line. Davies with the head. Now to Walker. Walker, well, there was definitely a handball in front of us from Pat Brown. I'm surprised the assistant referee didn't see that on this near side. Looked like he punched the ball. He thought he was a goalkeeper for a moment there, Pat Brown. Davies going low. And Kyle Hodges coming in, knocking your head over the top. Ben Smith again there. It's been very good today for Edgeworth, Ben Smith. Although he hasn't had to do too much, Blake. But he's looking very solid in goals.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? Not much has gone past him. Had that little hiccup with that high ball before that he went on to and nearly fell underneath him. But other than that, he hasn't looked like anything's getting past him today.
Well, Simon Mooney scored a free kick against Broadmeadow. Deflection, we believe. Archbold, there it is. Headed away. Pat Wheeler doing well there. 2 minutes to go in the first half here on Bar TV. It's Edgeworth 2, Hamilton 0. Under 22s, it was 3-0 to Edgeworth, and under 19s, it was 3-1 to Edgeworth as well. So they've had a great day against Hamilton today. Smith goes down the line, looking for Bryce. Tried to flick it down the line, but it goes over the sideline. And Swan with the throw now. Andrew Swan out of this one with the hamstring injury for Hamilton today. As it comes over on to this side with Pat Brown, but he's turned it over. Bazari. Now for Bryce. Walker. Flicking it on, Bren Hamill. Now Keanu Moore. Trying to go infield, but Mason Campbell was there. Reese Cooper, bit of pressure from Pasquale. And now down the countdown's on for the first half. We'll see how much added time there is. Bailey looking for Swan, but they weren't on the same page, and Swan has to backtrack and go on the ball. Over the sideline, another throw for Edgeworth. Kids wanting the first half to be over so they can get on the ground and have a kick around. But we've probably, I wouldn't think we'd have too much stoppage time in the first half, Blake. We haven't had that many stoppages. Here's Kane Goodchild looking for Reese Cooper. If Reese Cooper can get there, he probably will keep it inside. He does in the end, gets very lucky in the end because Bazari came at him and knocked the ball, or kept the ball in. Ben Smith takes it nicely.
I can't imagine there'd be much more injury time. They've done about 6 or 7 countdowns there, the juniors, so from 10. So we've played at least a minute. And there wasn't too much, as you said, there wasn't too many stoppages. So
yeah, I'm surprised it's going on this long. Yeah, there definitely wasn't that many stoppages. Bazari letting it run down over the sideline. Evans, and that is halftime. So the Eagles leading Hamilton Olympic by 2-0 at halftime. Luke Walker having a little bit of a chat to the referee. And as we go into half-time, what were your thoughts on the first half, Blake?
yeah, it was neither side really got out of first gear in the first 15 minutes, but Edgeworth have definitely had the better of the first half. I think that Hamilton coach Mick Bolch will probably give his side a bit of a rocket at halftime. They've been very flat, and especially in the last 15 minutes, they were missing a lot of passes. And going forward, they didn't look very threatening at all. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a change or two at halftime, or at least within the next 15 minutes of the second half if things don't change.
Well, a little bit of frustration there on halftime. Mason Campbell and Jacob Bailey both went to the referee to speak about something. They didn't look too impressed. Mick Bolch came out to take them away and into the dressing room. So a little bit of frustration out there for Hamilton in the first half.
Yeah, they mightn't have agreed with one or two decisions, but you know, the referee didn't put the 2 goals in, did he? And Hamilton haven't scored yet, so they need to focus on that, come out and have a better second half. If they're going to take it home the 3 points from this one, they need 3 goals, and if they want to stay top of the table, they need at least 2.
Any before we go to halftime, what are the scores at the other grounds?
It was half-time, so I think they'll be just coming back out now. I'll just have a quick look. Yeah, because we're 15 minutes behind them today, so just scrolling through. Second half started at Magic Park, and Magic ahead still 1-0, and the same at Adamstown with Charlestown ahead 1-0. So there's been no update yet.
Okay, well, we'll go to halftime. It's Edgeworth 2, Olympic 0. We'll be back for the second half in a sec.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics.
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.
Welcome back to the second half action here at Edgeworth. Kids just finishing their games on the field. Very short half time here today at Jack McLaughlin Oval. 2-0 Edgeworth leading Hamilton at half time. Goals in the first half. Aiden Bryce in the 15th minute, and in the 33rd minute, it was trying to remember what the second goal was. 33rd minute, it was a goal to Brodie Taylor. Now that I can remember. So 3-0 was the 22 score, Edgeworth defeating Olympic, and 3-1 was the under-19 score, Edgeworth over Olympic as well. And Hamilton have also made a couple of changes coming onto the ground. Number 14, Ben Coyner, and number 15, Cody Lucas. Pat Brown has come from the field. And what was the other player that's come from the ground as well?
Jason Korotich.
Jason Korotich. So 2 changes for Magic up front. For Hamilton up front. I could get in trouble if I call Hamilton Magic, as now Simon Mooney down over the sideline. But Mick Bolch would have been absolutely furious with that first half performance, because I'll be honest, it was deplorable from probably his standards.
Yeah, it looks like they've gone to 3 at the back, so they've pushed Ben Coyner up front. Cody Lucas has come to the back to play in a back 3 with Mason Campbell. No, that's wrong. Tom Davies is over there at the right back, so it's Mason Campbell and Cole Hodges in the middle. Cody Lucas at left back, and Matt Swan has gone up, and he was playing left back in the first half.
So this is going to set it up for hopefully a more exciting second half than we saw in the first half. It was very much a very boring first half. A couple of goals, but that was about it from both sides. Hamilton really just playing very defensive in the first half, even when they went behind 1-0. Hodges getting his foot in. Good child. Pasquale still with good child. Now Josh Evans. Tackle there from Jacob Baylor. I don't know why he didn't play the advantage there. Swan looked like he wanted to play it on quickly. But played first 10, 15 minutes, we said it was deathly silent here. It was like a graveyard at Jack McLaughlin Oval. Even on the field as well, there was hardly any talk. And already the second half, you can hear it. Danny Ireland yelling at his troops. Players talking to each other. Better atmosphere out there. Simon Mooney tipping free kick. It should be put in. It is put in. It's Jacob Bailey who has reduced the deficit now for Hamilton. It's 2-1. Just a minute into the second half, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Hamilton. Ben Smith couldn't take the free kick. It was dipping on him. He patted it forward with his chest. And now we really do have a game on our hands this afternoon. It was a really tough take there from Ben Smith. It was low. He'll be disappointed with himself, but it was a tough one. It bounced right in front of him. Got his chest down, and the first error he's made this afternoon, and it's resulted in a goal for Hamilton. And here comes Bailey again, Jacob Bailey. More energy now for Goodchild. He's got some space, Kane Goodchild. Will it be 2-2? Goodchild hits it. Go off the post. Well, wow, what a start to the second half. The first half was like watching paint dry. The second half's the most exciting thing we've seen all season. What has happened here at Jack McLaughlin Oval?
Yeah, we said just as they came out, and I mentioned before halftime that Mick Bolch would probably give his side a thunderbolt of a halftime talk, and it looks like he has, and it looks like they've responded very well.
He's brought the electricity, Mick Bolch. They came out about 2 or 3 minutes early for the second half. Did Hamilton, referee doing a nice job of getting out of the way of the ball. Luke Walker diving in, goes to Keanu Moore, but Edgeworth now. They've dodged the bullet, and we've got a free kick going their way. But Edgeworth dodged a bullet there off the post from Kane Goodchild, although it was unlucky. Josh Evans, I believe it was Josh Evans, just slipped over. Surface very slippery, as we said in the first half. It's very soft from the rain, and it was soft last time we were here as well. Really hasn't had much time to harden up throughout the year. The rain just sort of coming at the wrong time. Here's Brent Hamill on his right foot. No changes for Edgeworth at halftime. And Hamilton have just come out with a lot of vigour in the second half. We hardly saw any of this in the first half. It was very physical, but now there's a bit of niggle out there. Luke Walker and Jacob Bailey, they were having a little bit of an argument at halftime. Looks like it's continued into the second half. Tom Davies now slicing one off the side of his right foot and over the sideline, and Don Bazzari now with a throw. Takes his time, goes down the line. Brodie Taylor, can he keep it in? He doesn't do so, he did do so, but Tom Davies got it back, and Edgeworth another throw. Now in towards the penalty spot, but it was cleared away by Kyle Hodges. Now Jacob Bailey again. Hardly saw the ball in the first half. Second half, he's been in the thick of things. Then he was looking for Coiner. Diving in again there was Jacob Bailey. Now for Reece Cooper. He's got plenty of space in front of him. The number 10 for Hamilton tries to chip one over the top and cleared away, attempted to by Bray Smith. Now with Pasquale looking back towards Moore. Reece Cooper. Simon Mooney on the right-hand side. Still with Mooney. Takes his man on. He got rid of Bazzari. Mooney again in. Good header away from Wheeler. Now for Brent Hamill. Pasquale up the ground. Aiden Bryce is getting across to put some pressure on Mason Campbell. Another one slices off Hamilton player's boot, and Edgeworth now with Aiden Bryce. He's got some space in front of him. Holds it up, and Mason Campbell gets across and wins the free kick. But I just sense, Blake, that moment of unluckiness for Hamilton when Kane Goodchild hit the post, I really don't think it's going to have much of an impact. Hamilton have come out so strong in this second half that I think we could see them level it all up very shortly.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think it'll only make them hungrier to get another one.
And it would have been incredible if he did score, because it would have been 2 goals in 2 minutes, I think, in the second half. Goal straight away and in the first half. And then almost immediately back, Kane Goodchild. It was Jacob Bailey with the goal. Goodchild getting across to put some pressure on Smith. He goes down, does Goodchild after Bray Smith evaded him. Hodges going up on his opposite number, Bryce. Couldn't control in the end there. Coiner. Lucas, Cody Lucas has come on. Swan. It looked like he was all over him like a rash there. Josh Evans dives in again. Wins the throw. Swan not happy at all.
Yeah, some smart substitutions by Mick Bulch at halftime.
Well, here's Swan. Ben Smith will come out.
Ben Coiner up front adds a lot of physicality and a lot of fight, and Cody Lucas back here in the left back. He's really good going forward and getting those crosses in. So 2 very well calculated substitutions. Now, though, they only have 1 left.
Well, I wish we could say that it was the start of the first half, because we'd be in for an absolute cracker. But unfortunately, we've wasted 45 minutes of the game. But the last 38, if we've seen 7 in the 7 minutes. The 7 minutes of the second half, Blake, has brought more action than the 45 in the first 45 than the 45 we saw in the first half. There's Kane Goodchild now down the right edge of the 18, still with Goodchild doing well. Bazzari up the line. Brent Hamill. Now for Bazzari, Keanu Moore cutting inside. We've got to come up with the man of the match as well, which is going to be interesting if scores stay tight, as they were last week as well. Jacob Bailey going off at the referee again. He seems to have had his angry pills today. He wasn't happy at halftime. Again in the second half, and scored the goal as well. He was pumped up. Great to see the determination out there from the number 8 on the drive. Good to see a bit of passion as well. As now going after it is Coiner. Wheeler knocking and over to Bazari. Keanu Moore just couldn't get his first touch right. Now Reese Cooper on the ball. Goes back towards Coiner, but now it's been intercepted by Evans. Tried to put Bryce through. Back to Bailey. Plays across to, well, he was looking for Swan, but was hit too hard. And Bray Smith down this right or near side for Edgeworth. Stewie Smith straight into Swan. Matt Swan on the ball for Hamilton. Goes to Cooper. And now with Keanu Moore. Keanu Moore with some space in front of him. He takes on his man. He goes down. Well, was it a dive or was it a penalty, Blake? What are your initial thoughts? Keanu Moore is in a little bit of trouble at the moment, but now it's with Kane Goodchild. Evans. Drama aplenty at Jack McLaughlin. Now back to Mason Campbell. Keanu Moore just holding sort of a left rib area. Jacob Bailey. Back to Mason Campbell. Mooney. I thought it was a good shout for a penalty. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't really know. I didn't hear anything, but it definitely looked like it. So I'm just going to sit on the fence and say I don't know.
Unfortunately, we can't see the replay here, as you could see at home. Just scroll back and make the decision for yourself. But it was, if he didn't get touched, it was a very good piece of acting, because I was convinced. I thought from first glance he was clipped and it was a penalty, but it might have been just on the edge as well. So Mason Camp with the free kick, puts it in towards the 18. Coiner with the header, just couldn't get it across. And Brent Hamill now looking up the ground for Aiden Bryce. Edgeworth have also got to try and attack in the second half. They're now being found guilty of just sitting back a little bit too far, inviting Hamilton in to the game. Pasquale now going over the top. Good header from Campbell. Back for Coiner again. Looks through for Goodchild. Clearance from Wheeler. Over towards Pasquale on the far side of the ground. Good crowd over on that side of the ground. Keanu Moore now with Josh Evans. Pretty at the start of the season, rated as one of the best holding midfielders in the competition, but he's playing at the back today. Is Josh Evans. Keanu Moore getting across. Kyle Hodges dives in. Keanu Moore evades them now with Aiden Bryce, who pulls the trigger. Danny Ireland. It was too easy for him in the end. He got down low to his left and made a good save. Bray Smith now goes to Brody Taylor. Coiner with some pressure on him over the sideline, and Hamilton with the throw. Lucas goes down the line to Kane Goodchild. Still with Goodchild. Still going Kane Goodchild. Can he put... And then he goes into Swan, who tried to square it for Jacob Bailey. Was looking for his second goal of the game. Keanu Moore now with some space. The game's really opened up. Gets around Kyle Hodges. Tried to give him a little bit of a shove. And he gets around Cody Lucas. Put the shoulder into him. And wins the free kick. Bazari now on his left. Goes towards the back post. Ireland with the punch. He's got the hat on now, Danny Ireland. Sun in his eyes, setting sun. Evans evades Simon Mooney with some good skill. And now with Brent Hamill. Brent Hamill, plenty of space. Gets into the 18, cuts it back, but no one was there. Mason Campbell comes away and goes to Simon Mooney. Blake, hasn't this game opened up? Look at this space out here. Both sides. Matt Swan now in front of him. Goes to Coiner. Back to Lucas. Goes down the line now for Swan. He's got Lucas on the inside. He doesn't go to him. Still Swan on the ball. Back to Reese Cooper. Stabs one forward. Evans with the head. Swan. Now for Walker. And away to Taylor. Plays a 1-2 with Keanu Moore. And Taylor's ball across the ground was intercepted by Davies, but now Brendan Hamill getting across the ground. Davies coming across in in cover. We'll check those scores at the other grounds in just a sec while we see what's going to happen with this Edgeworth attack. Pasquale off the side of his boot. Slicing back towards Edgeworth's half. Aiden Bryce. And getting in there was Kyle Hodges. Away to Wheeler. Ball not well positioned as he would have liked, and it's with Matt Swan now. Hodges. Now for Smith. In the inside to Walker. Now going down was Bryce. No foul from the referee, and Bailey finds Tom Davies on that far side. Now he has some space, and we'll just check those other scores, Blake.
Yeah, I don't have anything at the moment. I've still got Magic. I had 1-0, and Charlestown had 1-0.
So 1-0 Magic against Hamilton and 1-0 Charlestown against Adamstown. Bit of an upset there. 1-1 in matches played this season between Charlestown and Adamstown. Mason Campbell knocking it up the ground. Tom Davies spinning. Now Brent Hamill. Goes infield. Keanu Moore controls it nicely, but Kyle Hodges again. They've had a ding-dong battle today, Kyle Hodges and Keanu Moore. Pretty even at the moment. Keanu Moore not on the score sheet yet, but Brody Taylor grabbed a goal for Edgeworth, as well as Aiden Bryce in the first 45. And in the first 2 minutes of the second half, it was 2-1. Jacob Bailey scoring after Ben Smith fumbled a free kick, a dipping free kick from Simon Mooney. Ferociously dipping at his legs, and he can only chest it back and out. And now Brody Taylor coming at him was Cody Lucas flying, and now Swan plays in Cody Lucas. He's got space down the left. He hits it, and it's sliced off his left and over the goal line. Good chance there. Really good chance from Cody Lucas.
Yeah, it was a good run. Just couldn't get composed there to put a shot on target with his left foot.
Bray Smith down the line, finds Brody Taylor, cuts it back at Danny Island. Went over the goal line anyway, and it's going to be a goal kick for him. Kane Goodchild just gets there first for Luke Walker. Hodges off the side of his boot as well, and over towards Tom Davies. Puts it up the line. Edgeworth with the throw. Bazari. Hamill over the top. Had a frenetic opening to the half. Seemed to have just died down a little bit in the last few minutes for both sides. Hamilton just maybe that good child shot. I said I think they'll level it up, but they just seem to have lost a little bit of momentum now, Hamilton. Bailey now. Bazari. Jacob Bailey then. Mooney. Back to Bailey. And now Keanu Moore. Space in front of him now. Got a little clip. The ref's going to play advantage. Aiden Bryce put it through. And the referee still gives the advantage. Bray Smith. Kane Goodchild. Couldn't get on the end of it. Flicked on. Brody Taylor. Jacob Bailey. Now for Reese Cooper. Really good control. Now he tries to put it through for Swan. He couldn't quite get through. Who are your thoughts on man of the match at the moment, Blake? 27 out from full time.
I don't really have one. Maybe Aiden Bryce. He's done well up front and controlled the ball real well, and he's had a few shots on target, but other than that, no one really.
Well, as the expert commentator, I'm handing man of the match. Man of the match reigns to you. You can pick yours. I was at the rugby league yesterday doing that, and Pete Jolly handed it to me off the referee. So I'll give that to you for the Das Hund House Man of the Match award. Brent Hamill, can he get on the end of it? Ireland flies out. Well, he got the ball. And now one of the Hamilton players goes to ground. The temperature already wasn't high. Would have just gone up a little bit there. Ireland flying out. Evans, bit of a shoulder there from Josh Evans, claimed the Hamilton fans. Getting the referee, letting play go on. Davies going up the line now. Pasquale. Now for Brent Hamill. Still with Brent Hamill. Taking it down the left side now. On that far side of the ground now for Hamill. Cuts it back. Can Keanu Moore get on the end of it? Bryce again. Man, Blake was just speaking about. He's been good up there. Again, it hits the ref. 2 times in a couple of minutes now. It's been collected by the ball. Lucas. Now across to Mooney. Still Simon Mooney. Kane Goodchild couldn't get it. Pasquale did well, but now it's back to Mooney. Bazari got to him. Can Mooney get it back? He does well again, Simon Mooney. He does really well, Simon Mooney. Can he cut one back? He does cut it back. Coin, a great save, Ben Smith. Will it be scrambled clear? Goodchild, it's over. Well, Edgeworth have dodged a bullet there. Edgeworth players are going down like flies at the moment. Josh Evans on his haunches. Bazari as well. Well, they breathe a sigh of relief here at Jack McLaughlin Oval, Blake.
Yeah, it's a very good chance there, wasn't it? I couldn't really tell who it came off in the end, but good run down the right-hand side from Simon Mooney and Nelly converting that into a goal for Ben Coyner.
Ben Smith, well, he made up for that fumble that led to Jacob Bailey's goal there. He saved a certain goal. It was heading for the bottom right corner from Coyner's perspective. And now flicked on towards Keanu Moore from Bryce back to Luke Walker. Little touch on Pasquale now. Smith. Now Bryce, now Hodges. Pasquale comes to it again. Hamill. Still with Hamill, takes it down to the byline. Can he cut one back? Well defended by Mason Campbell. Bailey. Little bump from Pasquale. He went to ground. Bailey. Goodchild. Back to Mooney now. Swan. Trying to turn around Bray Smith. He's got Lucas, but I think it'll beat him over the sideline down there, Cody Lucas. And it does, so a throw goes Edgeworth's way, Blake.
Just quickly around the grounds, Broadmeadow have scored their second goal and gone ahead 2-0 against Maitland.
So good news for Magic fans. After a lean 4 weeks, 4 losses in a row for them. They're doing well at the moment.
So it's Aaron McLaughlin coming on there for Don Bazari. Straight swap into the left back position.
Up the line, Swan gets his head to it. Goodchild after it. It's a bump on Wheeler. Campbell. Lucas. Now for Campbell up towards Goodchild. Wheeler headed it to Luke Walker. There's a bit of a shove there by Bailey. A little battle continues this afternoon. Jacob Bailey and Luke Walker. Looking infield, but Reece Cooper couldn't quite get there. And now McLaughlin. Made such a difference for Edgeworth in recent weeks. Scored the winner last week, Aaron McLaughlin. Cutting inside and Davies holding him off. Davies goes down, gets his foot in. Still in. Somehow it hasn't gone over the goal line. Hamill. Now he's got some space looking for Taylor. And it is going to be a goal kick for Danny Island. Simon Mooney now back to Mason Campbell. Goes up the ground, and Josh Evans looking forward for Hamill, but Mooney cut it across. Reece Cooper didn't get there, and now some space for Bryce, but Mason Campbell did well again at the back. Running towards the sideline now. Lucas keeps it in. Bray Smith now. Wheeler, he's got two men coming at him. Reece Cooper now. Luke Walker goes to ground. Play on from the referee, Pasquale. Running towards the sideline. Can he keep it in? He can't, and Hamilton will get the throw. So 1-0 the latest score. We had Charlestown and Adamstown Rosebuds at Adamstown, and Magic at home against Maitland leading by 2-0. Swan now gets his hip in front of it. Hodges now. So still Hamilton down by 2-1. Kane Goodchild reducing, so I should say Jacob Bailey reducing the deficit. A couple of minutes into the second half. Free kick goes Hamilton's way. It was 2-1 at that point, and then we've had some great chances for Hamilton. We had Kane Goodchild hitting the post just a minute after that. And then we had Ben Smith make a wonderful save on Ben Coyner.
There's going to be another substitution here for Edgeworth, with Brody Taylor coming off the field, being replaced by number 12, Brenton Olzema.
So Olzema on, which is going to create some attacking opportunities for Edgeworth. Was playing further towards the defensive area last week. Here's the free kick. Not too deep. And here's Olzema. He was after it, but Lucas got there first. Knocked it across the ground. Aaron McLaughlin and Simon Mooney over there. The flag's up from the assistant, but the referee waves him away and says, play on. McLaughlin looks for Pasquale. Just sort of stopped in the surface, and Cooper was able to get there. Bailey winning the free kick. Josh Evans going in there, and we'll see if Hamilton can create some pressure down Edgeworth's end. High clearance. Campbell gets under it nicely. Keanu Moore. And Reece Cooper going at it now. Reece Cooper giving him a tug, and free kick to Edgeworth. No card for Reece Cooper. Andrew Swan actually just down to the right of us here at Jack McLaughlin Oval. With a few of the other Hamilton Olympic players, which I think are injured today, not playing. So Brent Hamill, Josh Evans also coming across. Ships it towards the back post. Luke Walker tries to get on the end of it. Aiden Bryce puts it in to an open net. And Edgeworth now lead by 3-1 against the run of play. And that really is going to put Hamilton under enormous pressure now in terms of getting a result out of this one today, Blake.
We've seen some bizarre goals today, haven't we? That one that we think it come off the post twice, or it come off the post and then a save, and then that one just deflected off someone and gone really high up in the air and just fell to Aiden Bryce. So 3-1 to Edgeworth. There's still 17 minutes to go, so we'll see how Hamilton reply.
Well, Hamilton now they've got to throw caution to the wind big time. They'll feel themselves a little hard done by because Edgeworth really hadn't created much in the second half. In terms of in the 18, Keanu Moore went through and almost won a penalty. That was one instance, but apart from that, not too much. It's been Hamilton that have created the big chances in the second half. Swan goes down and wins the free kick now for Hamilton. Do you think they can get back into the game, Blake?
Yeah, I definitely do. They just need to turn it up a gear and really give it a strong push. It looks like they really haven't left second or third gear today, apart from those 2 minutes after the second half. So I still think they can show a lot more in this game, Hamilton.
No losses thus far this season for the team in blue this afternoon. They've had, of their 11 games, 7 wins and 4 draws. Kane Goodchild furious with the decision from the referee. Free kick to Edgeworth, and they're playing it on quickly now. Aaron McLaughlin. So that free kick going back post from Bren Hamill. Headed back across goal by Luke Walker, and Aiden Bryce put it into an empty net as Danny Island was worried about Luke Walker's header. Well, it wasn't a totally empty net, but from about a metre out, it was always going to be tough for the Hamilton goalkeeper. As now it's with Kane Goodchild. Going after it, Josh Evans. No foul given from the referee. Goodchild again after it. I'd have to say, I think that's the most goals that Hamilton have conceded this year. It is. Most before this game was the 2 they conceded against Adamstown, Charlestown, South Cardiff and Adamstown earlier in the year as well. Now for Reece Cooper. Trying to step around Keanu Moore. Still with Cooper. Challenge from Walker. And now with Keanu Moore, plenty of space now for him. Getting across was Tom Davies. Gets a little bit of a challenge. Ref said he got the ball over the sideline. And the throw for Edgeworth.
So it's a double to Aiden Bryce now. So 2 goals for him. It's a very smart move from Coach Damien Dane, putting him up in the front third as the number 9.
So I think he's firming as your man of the match prediction, Blake.
I guess so. It hasn't really been any standouts, but he's got 2 goals, so that's what separates the teams at the moment. Those 2 goals is Edgeworth is ahead 3-1.
You'll probably give Damien Zane the man of the match for making the decision to put him up there. Kyle Hodges with the header. Luke Walker now. Pasquale goes to Evans. Well, they really need a goal in the next 5 minutes or so, Hamilton, if they want to give themselves any realistic chance. Otherwise, it becomes miracle territory for them. Not impossible. Seen it done before. As here's Reece Cooper with some space in front of him. He goes long range, and Ben Smith watches it go wide. And we're going to see another change. It looks like Edgeworth. It is. And it's going to be Dylan Hulse going on. And it's Bray Smith that's coming from the ground. Interesting move here.
Yeah, Brent Hamill's going to go to right back, and Dylan Hulse will probably go over onto the left midfield.
So Brent Hamill back to right back where he played last week. I think I remember. Smith now up over halfway. Hodges with the header. Swan looking for Mooney on that far side. Came off early in the game that we did against that Hamilton played against Broadmeadow. Not so today. Bolch, I think, wants to keep him out there for the remainder of this one, just to give Hamilton a hope of getting the 2 goals required. Is it over the sideline off Lucas?
Just around the grounds again. Broadmeadow have scored their 3rd goal of the game, and they now lead Maitland 3-0.
So Hamilton, Magic just returning to form, and Hamilton on the ball with Davies.
Yeah, it looks like Magic are about to get their first win in 5 games, and Hamilton are about to lose their first of the season, doesn't it?
Well, here's Olzema. The shot, it goes wide, and it's going to be another goal kick. Yeah, Magic, those 4 losses in a row. It was funny because we were talking before their first loss. It was that game against Western. They were on 17 points. We were saying they only need to win today, and they will equal the amount of points they got in 18 rounds last season. And it's taken them another 4 weeks to get to that milestone. So, yeah, 20 points not as easy to come by as what we first thought.
Yeah, that was round 8, wasn't it? Because as you said, halfway through the season, and we thought they were going to eclipse their goals scored, their wins, and I think it was their points as well. So, wasn't to be, but for their sake, they'll be hoping that they can use this win today and get some form going into the back end of the season.
Here goes Mason Campbell down the line looking for Mooney, but it's been put over the side. A little bit of push and shove over there. Mooney and McLaughlin. Not used to being in this position, Hamilton. They were winning 2-1 over Adamstown in both those draws they had, so they're in front in both of them. And 0-0 against Magic, so they weren't behind in that one as well. So as here's a ball through to Olzamar, and Danny Oling had his first touch just a little bit too heavy. That a 1-1 draw with the Jaffers at home, and I have a feeling they may have been down 1-0 in that one. I don't know if it was a penalty or something that got in the back end. I can't quite remember it. But here's Reece Cooper looking for Coiner. It's back for Swan, but getting there first was Holtz to put it over the sideline. They've still got one more change left up their sleeve, Hamilton. Remains to be seen whether they decide to make that one. Matt Harper and Serapar on the bench as well. Now for Keanu Moore. So they've got a 2-on-2 here, Edgeworth. Holtz coming down as well. Runs away from him, and Jacob Bailey, who started the second half so brightly, as did Hamilton. And that Ben Smith save was probably the turning point in this game, Blake.
Yeah, he's been solid back there. Obviously, they've conceded one from that awkward bounce that just popped up in front of him, but he's had a very good game. And he's definitely proved that he can be a good fill-in while Jim Fogarty's out on the sidelines for 6 to 8 weeks with that shoulder injury.
So here's Reece Cooper now, chipping one over the top. Ben Smith comes out and makes an absolute meal of it and gives Hamilton a chance, does he? No. Aiden Bryce. Well, if he wasn't your man of the match, he probably is now. Scored 2 and has saved a certain goal there. Ben Smith, he's had some wonderful moments this afternoon, and then he's had some moments that he'd wish to never even remember in his wildest dreams.
Yeah, I definitely put the mocker on him there, didn't I? Said that he had a very solid game, and he's come out and done that. But
here's Mooney Smith. Yeah, there you go again. Good punch there. Kyle Hodges, can he hit a screamer? Josh Evans, good defensive work. I don't know what he was trying to do there. I think he was trying to do the Jim Fogarty from last week. Come outside your 18 and try and block it with your body. And, well, Pasquale now trying to get around. He plays it Olzama. Just sense maybe Edgeworth could get a fourth here if Hamilton keep pushing up. Hodges crawling all over the ball there. Walker. Still with Luke Walker. And now Simon Mooney after it. He's in a lot of trouble here, Mooney. Limping after the ball. Looks like he's going to have to come to the sideline. It's the left foot from Mooney. Looks he's made the signal that he wants to come from the ground. Looks like Matt Harper's going to come on. We'll stick with the play. Olzama. Looks for Keanu Moore. Deflecting off Mason Campbell and over to Davies now. So 7 minutes to go in the game. It's Edgeworth 3 leading Hamilton 1 on Bar TV. Second half has been much more exciting than what we saw in the first half. And next week, Hamilton play Lambton at Arthur Eden Oval on Saturday. Holtz now down the right side of the box. Gets a bump from Mooney. I didn't think it was a penalty, Blake. It was shoulder to shoulder, and a good decision there from the referee in the end.
Yeah, they've had 3 penalties yesterday, haven't they, Edgy? They've gone very close, but they just doesn't look like they're going to win one, as we see Simon Mooney limping off here. And just as we have the substitutions full-time over at Adamstown Oval, Charlestown have won that 1-0 thanks to Scott Smith's goal in the 12th minute as Matt Harper comes on for Hamilton.
Well, that puts a a lot of pressure now on South Cardiff. They're 4 points in arrears at the bottom of the ladder now, Blake. So they're really going to get the victory against Charlestown next week if they want to have any hope of trying to get out of that relegation zone. Now Dylan Holtz, he's got Keanu Moore on the left. He tried to go to him, but Hamilton did well in defence. Hamilton with the free kick now, with 6 minutes to go. So yeah, that match at Arthur Ed Nova, it was 1-1 when the sides first met earlier in the season at Darling Street. So it should be a cracker. Island slipping over again there. Keepers have slipped over a few times this afternoon. Reese Cooper getting in there. The clearance there up the ground from Aiden Bryce, who seems to have dropped back into the defensive line now. Aiden Bryce, he has. They're now playing 5 at the back. Aiden Bryce again getting his head to the ball. Harper. And now forward for Tom Davies. I should say back for Tom Davies for Hamilton. Up the line. Good child. Pasquale slicing it and over the sideline. Harper now. Campbell. Good child. Cleared by Edgeworth, and now Olsema down the left-hand side. Played for Berkeley Vale in 2014. Very good buy for Edgeworth. He scored 3 goals for them this year. Brodie Taylor making his season tally 3 as well today, with Edgeworth's second goal this afternoon in the 33rd minute. And now with Kane Goodchild. Tries to put it through for Coiner. And Josh Evans gets back, slows it all down. See with Evans, he got a bit of a tug from Evans and wins from Reese Cooper and wins the free kick. Ben Smith will stroll out and take it. And then I think you'd have to think now Edgeworth will probably get the job done, Blake. But another great performance from them after earlier in the season, they couldn't beat Hamilton and Broadmeadow. Damien Zane not impressed with that, and they've come home in the second round of matches, and they've done really well against the top sides.
You mentioned earlier that in one of the interviews you did with Damien Zane, he was disappointed that his side weren't beating those top 3 teams, but now they've beaten 2 of those 3 that were initially at the top. They've still got the Jaffers and Western to go in this season. So 2 big games for the Eagles in their final 6.
Matt Harper now looking for one of his teammates, but found Pat Wheeler. Keanu Moore, he's got Dylan Holtz rushing down the right-hand side. Can't set it up this time. Swan. Now to Harper, back to Davies. Reese Cooper coming infield. Olsema again holding it up. You can just smell a 4th goal for Edgeworth. They can take a chance. Holtz with a shot. Didn't quite get a big piece of it, and Danny Island will have the goal kick with 3 minutes to go in this one as the sun sets at Jack McLaughlin Oval. On round 12, we've already had one result today. Charlestown 1-0 over Adamstown. Did you have that other score between Maitland and Magic? It was 3-0 was the last one.
Magic won 3-0.
Magic 3-0. So Magic 3-0 and Charlestown 1-0 as well. So Magic climb back up the ladder. And Adamstown just a bit of a stall after having a great run of form of late. Of Adamstown. And a stat for Hamilton. So far, their away record, 3 wins, 2 draws. The only side that hasn't lost a match away from home. So that is going to change today for the men in blue. Reese Cooper now trying to put it through Aaron McLaughlin. He's come on and done another good job for Edgeworth today. Davies. Reese Cooper. Now for Lucas. challenge down there. Dylan Holtz putting the pressure on Lucas. Goes towards Coiner. Now long range effort from Jacob Bailey. Swerves away. And pressure off again for Edgeworth. Ben Smith with the goal kick. Inside the final minute now of regulation time. I can't think of any large stoppages. Probably just a few from injuries. But Edgeworth had a not a great run against Hamilton of late in the last 6 games. Hamilton have won 3 of the last 6, 2 draws, and Edgeworth only 1 win. And that was back in 2013, their last win over Hamilton. So it's been a long time coming, but they've finally got the job done against Hamilton. Aiden Bryce now. Now a shot, Danny Island, great save. Dylan Holtz firing that one out of a cannon. I was just watching a little bit of niggle in front of us. Jacob Bailey and Aiden Bryce. A little bit of push and shove. What do you think now for Mick Bolch, Blake, going into next week's game against Lambton? We saw Broadmeadow. They lost 1 game, and all of a sudden it became a habit. So hopefully for him, it doesn't happen for them. Aaron McLaughlin on the ball back to Hamill. See if Edgeworth can put the cherry on top here into the 18. And now Swan now. Some space for him. Still Swan on the ball. And we've got a yellow card. I think we had a yellow card earlier, but we were checking other scores and I didn't see. I saw the ref writing down his book. But he's got a week ahead of him, Mick Bolch, to try and get Hamilton up and ready for next week.
He said after the FFA Cup break that his side were a bit rusty after that week off, and he did say that they came out and played that way last weekend. So
yeah, he did.
It's continued out into the field this weekend. That's something he'll be looking to work on at training during the week and making sure that they're ready for their clash against Jaffers next weekend, which is also live on Bar TV, so you can watch that one and see if they improve.
Yeah, next Saturday, same time, 2:30 it will be next week. Today's game was 2:45, a little bit later start at Edgeworth. As here's Olzema, goes for Keanu Moore. Tom Davies did well. Bryce getting up now and looking for a hat-trick. Man who started the season in defence and scored a double today for Edgeworth. Scored the first and last of their goals, or scored the first and last goals of the game today. Bump in the back, Keanu Moore. And Edgeworth with the free kick. So you're going for Aiden Bryce for man of the match, are you thinking?
Yeah. We'll
I don't want to cloud your judgment. No, whatever you think.
We're going to say Aiden Bryce. He scored 2 and he's done a good job in defence since going back there. So he's done a great job today for the full 90 minutes, and he was very composed up front. I don't know if he's usually a striker, but this season I've seen a lot of him at fullback, and he did a great job up the top as the number 9. So he takes it out today.
So at the end of the game, we'll get that graphic up, and on Aiden Bryce, just as we did last week, the Das Hundhaus Man of the Match, the Pork Knuckle Award, new on Bar TV in the last couple of weeks. $50 to spend at the restaurant, so I'm sure Aiden Bryce will enjoy that. And that's 2 weeks in a row it's gone to an Edgeworth player, so we're gonna have to share it around next week. Edgeworth not on our game, so it'll go to one of the Hamilton or Lambton players.
Yeah, Edgeworth have a game next week away from home against Maitland. So that'll be a good test for them. Maitland will be looking to get back to form. They won 2 in a row. They've lost today against Magic 3-0, and they'll be looking to get back to winning ways. As referee blows full time here at Jack McLaughlin Oval. It's 3-1 to the Edgeworth Eagles. That's the way it's finished, and Edgeworth have scored themselves the top position at the end of round 12, taking it off Hamilton.
Yeah, so a big day for the home fans today. 3-1 full-time scoreline, as Blake just said. And man of the match today, Aiden Bryce, the number 4 for the Edgeworth Eagles, scored 2 goals. It was 15th minute for him, 33rd Brent Hamill got, I shouldn't say Brent Hamill, Brodie Taylor made it 2-0 for Edgeworth. Then early on, second half, 2 minutes in, it was a goal after Kane Goodchild hit the post. Or I shouldn't say, the ball was put in by Jacob Bailey after Ben Smith fumbled a free kick. Then Kane Goodchild hit the post. Then Ben Smith made some awesome saves. And then it was all finished off by Aiden Bryce late on in the second half. What were your thoughts on the game today, Blake?
Both sides obviously tried really hard. Edgeworth were clearly the better team on the day, but it's probably not a game I'd go home and watch again. It wasn't too flash, but Edgeworth will be stoked. They're top of the table now. I'll just give a little run through the table as it stands after the end of round 12. Edgeworth are first on 27. Then Hamilton on 25. Jaffers a third on 24 after their win yesterday. Western are still in the top 4 on 22. Broadmeadow take themselves to within 2 points of the top 4 with a win today, going to 20 points. Adamstown are on 16. The Jets Youth are on 13. Maitland are still on 10 after their loss today. Charlestown go 4 ahead of the last place, South Cardiff. Charlestown are on, with their win today, Charlestown are on 9 and South Cardiff are on 5.
Okie doke. So that wraps it up for this week's action here on Bar TV with the NPL. Next week, we are heading out, as we spoke about before. It's Lambton up against Hamilton at Arthur Eden Oval. We return back to round 1. So we'll catch you there next Saturday. So remember, not Sunday next week. Saturday, 2:30 from Arthur Eden Oval. So until next week, today it was Edgeworth 3, Hamilton Olympic 1. 22s was 3-0 to Edgeworth, and the 19s was 3-1 to Edgeworth. So until next week, it's goodbye.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics.
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, the future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Guys, Real Sport, Bar TV.